Primetime Treasures. It was really a unique shop and fun to work at. In the report, I'm basically reading what Carol Ann wrote, but I have a lot of memories of my own that I added to Carol Ann's report. From the beginning, Assistance League members wanted to focus on helping children and seniors. On our first philanthropic project in 1987, God, that seems so long ago, was Operation Hug to serve children. And in 1988, the chapter voted to open up a retail shop called Primetime Treasures to serve seniors. The purpose of this quaint shop was to sell craft made exclusively by seniors over 55. These people were overjoyed that our shop would do this for them. They understood that a 20% surcharge would be added to their asking price to help cover our expenses. All items sold would be tallied, and each month the crafter would be sent a check. It was discussed a lot whether we should have an open age of 55 or also include a financial need. The board decided that they did not want to look into financial records of these senior citizens, so we just went with the age of 55 and over. The shop was located on Vallis Road, just south of Olive. When preparations began, members painted walls, added shelves, and built a checkout counter. Now we needed crafters to bring their items into the shop to fill the space. Senior crafters were invited to bring in their items, and they were interviewed. They would be standing in line outside, anxious to see what this was all about. Chairs and card tables were lined against the walls for members to sit and greet everyone. Their handmade items were placed on the table, and we would chat and do our best to put these seniors at ease. Many of them had never sold anything. We informed them of our procedures and accepted their items. There were times when some items were rejected with an explanation as to why we could not sell an item at this time. Diana Tate, who's here someplace, and I were we're intake co-chairs, and she likes to tell everyone we play good cop and bad cop. Of course, Diana was always the good cop because she could not say no to any crafter, no matter how bad the craft was. So she would call me over to look at the items. If I thought we could not sell the items, I would only accept one, and sometimes none, and made an explanation as to why we could not take it. Later, if items did not sell, the crafters were personally called and asked to come and pick them up. The store was officially opened October 21st, 1988, with a ribbon cutting ceremony. I'm not sure who was more excited, the crafters or the members. The committees were formed to help manage the shop. Members were required to work at the shop. There was an intake committee where members judged and recorded all items from every crafter and set the price. The seniors told us what price they wanted. Sometimes we agreed, sometimes we did not. So once a price was set, the items were sent to the back room to have a price tag placed on it so it would be ready for display. Crafters only came in one day a week to have their crafts reviewed. Carol Ann recalled her experiences working in the back room. She was privileged to be one of the group who sat at a table that was possibly 8 feet long by 2 feet wide in a space that was 12 feet long by 10 feet. Oh yes, and this also was the furnace room and the bathroom. There was storage above their heads as well as some light fixtures that hung over the table. And as I said, the bathroom was located in this area. Dare anyone need to use the bathroom? one side of the table where half of us sat would get up and stand against the wall so the bathroom door could be opened. The person in need would scurry in, then knock on the door from the inside to be let out. We were still standing against the wall, waiting for her to squeeze by as she made her way back to the store, and everyone had wide grins on their face. Speaking of grins, ladies were not allowed to come into this space unless they had a joke to tell. Ladies, the laughter that came from this closet would make our customers roar with statement like, "What is going on in that bathroom? What's so funny?" Unfortunately, sometimes it was the items that we took. The shop had a display committee and a check writing committee. At the end of each month, more than 100 checks needed to be written and sent out to crafters. All this was done by hand. We had no computers back then to do this. This committee had a lot of work to do at the end of each month. We did have a robbery one year. The thief broke into the hair salon next door to us and knocked a hole in our wall and stole all our quilts. The police thought that somebody knew where we stored the quilts, so they're thinking it was an inside job. Not necessarily a member, but it could have been a crafter's son or something. We don't know for sure. The police said that they would never be able to find the quilts, even though we had pictures of each one. We did cover the cost and paid the crafters. I will never forget one of our craft ladies. She made very nice doll clothes, but had never sold any. We took a lot of her doll clothes and quickly sold everything. We called her to bring in more. When she came into the shop, she had a bag of doll clothes and started crying that somebody actually would pay for her crafts. Actually, she was crying so hard, she peed in her pants. After she left, I was there and the members with me really felt good about this project, helping people. The Christmas season was a busy time because all the merchandise we received from the crafters. Carol Ann remembered one day during the holidays, a small woman came in pulling an old metal cart, and she was out of breath. Carol Ann seated her and opened the package that was in the cart. It was a 3-foot white ceramic Christmas tree with electric lights. They were very popular at that time, but Carol Ann was shocked at the height of this one. "How much do you want for this tree?" Her reply was $20. Carol Ann replied she thought it was worth more and that she thought we should put a $40 price tag on it. The lady agreed and filled out the necessary paperwork. Well, the table of friends that were pricing in the back room really let Carol Ann have it. Where's it going to go? Now remember, we were very short on space. It took up an entire round table, and it didn't sell. So you can figure out who bought it and brought it home to her husband, who said some unmarried Christmas words. Oh yes, we never saw that woman again, but we often think about her, especially at Christmas. The 14 years Primetime Treasures was open went by very quickly. As the popularity of craft items declined, the chapter decided to close the shop in 2002. During the years the shop was open, over 1,000 seniors signed up to sell their crafts. Shop sales sometimes averaged over 100,000 a year. And you got to remember that was 20% of the price that we received. And Assistance League returned over $1 million to the senior citizens in the St. Louis area. We felt proud and still do to this day that we succeeded with this shop. Our motto was, "You can never dream too big." And we can do anything we want to do if we put our minds to it and try. Thank you.